job title, what you do.
Yeah, so I currently work for TfL. I'm a change implementation manager. So it's business change. So what I do is work with project managers, business analysts, and development teams to roll in new technology into TfL. So we're doing that for their operational and enforcement teams. So think the bus inspectors. We're rolling out new technology there. So I work on projects like that. So I look at how will this change impact that area? I assess it, and then basically I present to leadership and I say, these are some of the things we need to do to make sure that it's embedded properly and doesn't impact the staff in a way that is a negative. Because obviously change is never change.
And people don't take it well.
People don't take it well. No, especially if you've been doing something for 20 years plus, to then come and say, hey, we're doing this now.
They're going to take it well. And TfL's massive.
So you have to do a journey. Cool. So that's my new job. I used to be in consulting prior to that. So I started at TfL this year. Learned everything in consulting, transitioned, and I left consulting because I wanted to kind of go on client side. So that's what I do now. And then I'm building a fashion marketplace, which is my project.
Tell us about this. Tell us about the baby.
So it's called Couture Paradise. I started building it last year. I went on a Soho House program. I'm someone who loves programs. If there's a program, I'm gonna go on it. I'm a program person. So I'll definitely say to people always look for programs in any industry or anything you want to get into because you'll learn and network and just gain so much opportunities from it. So I finished that program and now I'm building my marketplace, looking to launch in Nigeria, and it will just have Nigerian brands on there, the ones that are affordable, accessible, that are contemporary, not just your traditional kind of side of it, but like do a mixture, modest clothing as well. So it's just bringing them to the light of like the diaspora community, global audience. So it's exciting.
So we'll look out for that. Launch December.
Please do. Yes, I'm looking to launch summer period.
So it's literally
now.
Very close. Okay, thank you for coming all the way.
Very close. Very close.
And I know you started this, but why did you start this? Because that's a key thing when starting a dream. I
think when you're young, you have all these dreams and hopes, but life kind of like deviates you into other paths. I'm not saying those paths are wrong. Like politics, I loved politics. I loved my time in politics. But I think you're scared sometimes to pivot into something new. And I learned from those who have gone before me. I love to speak to people to gain their wisdom, and they always say the same thing, like go after your dreams in your 20s, try and do what you really want, build yourself up, try different things. Then you have like more finances in the 30s and you have more experience and wisdom and network, so you can get it in place. And they just said to me, don't waste that opportunity now where you have the energy, because later on when you're trying, it might be harder when you have more responsibilities. So I feel like I just wanted to go into what I've always been aligned with, and I've loved fashion. I've always enjoyed dressing up, taking pictures on Instagram and looking at this and that. I just wanted to invest in it more. I never was a designer. I'm not that type of person. Didn't see myself as a stylist, but the business of it, the business of fashion, and helping brands, just growing with them and supporting them. And
it's so hard for them to get a platform and to market themselves. Like an ASOS, one African.
That's it. That's you got it. That's literally it.
That is powerful.
That's it. That's it.
And even though you're making it seem like, it's A to Z, but it must be a really hard transition to get up and actually start that. So what motivated you in the reality, even though people told you start your dreams, how did you go from having an idea to actually activating it despite, and I'm sure, what were the challenges that you faced in doing that as well?
So it's definitely difficult, especially one being in politics. I had to take the tough decision to not stand again. And I was doing amazing work in politics. I loved everything I learned in politics, but that was a tough decision to know that you have a limited time. So I had to decide, where do I want to put my resources and my time? And I had to take the kind of realistic view of it, in the sense of, am I really going to go far in terms of where I currently am in my seat? I could do another 4 years, but I wouldn't be in a position to really affect that change I would want in my area as much as I possibly could do if I came back in the future, maybe. So I said, okay, I'm going to take that step out while I've done such great work, and then focus on what I really enjoy and love, my passion, and that was my fashion. And Couture Paradise, that idea came around 2020 when we all had time to really assess about it.
I actually missed COVID. I probably should say this
I'm sad about COVID, but the time to really sit and everything stop. So that thinking happened in 2020. KP, so Couture Paradise, came about in 2020, and then I just put down all the ideas, and then like everyone, you go through, should I write a business plan, should I do a presentation? I spoke to friends about it, tried to do something myself on Shopify, didn't really work. Then I paused, I said, okay, if I really want to go into this, I need to start from the beginning. So I took basically the lessons and the approach that I did when I got into politics into the fashion. So I said, let me start from the beginning, you know, take a low seat and work my way up. So I said, what is that? What does that look like? Okay, how did I get into politics? I did a program. So I looked for a program that could help me understand just how to build this business that I envisioned. So Soho House program came along, and it meant partnered me with a Soho House mentor, and then from there he helped me through various workshops to build my idea, build what it looks like. We were using Miro, what people want to call it. It's like a board, and we were just plotting all the different ideas, and I'm very visual, so seeing pictures and mapping it out that way helped. So after that, I did a presentation, I pitched the idea, and then it was like the doing. But like I said, I was working in consulting. So consulting gives you like good tools, ways of planning. So I kind of put my business into like a work stream. So I said, okay, this is the like business work stream, this is the like marketing work stream, this is going to be the development work stream, and I said, okay, this is what we're going to be doing, and this is the timeline, this is how we're going to reach every milestone. So I literally did a POAP, plan on a page, the like project kind of like spill. I prepared that for my business, and then I got the resources to help me. Challenges, I lost 2 business partners. So 2 friends who I actually set up the business with back in 2020 said they couldn't come on this journey with me. I got new business partners, and then they also left this year. They left this year, but again, different priorities, and now I've taken the decision to just basically lead it by myself, with obviously support from a team who are amazing and are in Nigeria and are helping me. But what have I learned through it all? That you learn on the journey. Business is not just, okay, I reached that milestone and that's it. No, it's like every single day you've got to work at it. And just being organised, you know, just having a plan. So 3 months plan for me. My trackers, my spreadsheets, my weekly meetings, you know, my weekly meetings on a Friday, just little things, and then releasing control. So knowing that I don't know it all, and I have people who have great ideas, and giving them the forum to speak and say, Tele, there's this influencer, there's this designer Tele, we should maybe do this Tele to gain, you know, more customers and attract engagement. So listening to their ideas, and I'm like, go for it, go for it. So that's how I built my business, the journey, some of the challenges, losing business partners, and then having to juggle a 9 to 5. Because it is a lie, people believe that you can go down different routes. You can go down a VC route, you know, so venture capitalists, you can go through angel investors, you can bootstrap, you can get grants, you can do all of that, but they're also time consuming. To go through those routes while building your business and leading a team, that is hard. So I commend everybody who's doing that. So I decided, you know what, let me use my finances, and that meant just working more of my 9 to 5. But I say it's like a time, it's a time for everything, and this is just my sacrifice right now.
We went through the festival journey. Talk us through the actual rallying bit of the campaigning, door knocking, canvassing. Talk us through that journey of the challenges to even get to the seat, and then it brings me to my next question on actual journey as a councillor. So talk us through that journey and the process, and how you found it, and how you navigated to do that.
Part of the Labour Party. So 2017, I was door knocking with our potential candidate, who was going to be in the 2018 SAP election, SAP election that we had. So door knocking with him, and I knew obviously the elections were coming, and I knew the local elections were coming. So he was like, do you know what, Tele, why don't you consider putting yourself forward? So I said, okay. So when you want to put yourself forward, what happens is internally in the party, they sending out an email saying local elections are coming. It's usually 1 year, 2 years. They'll send out an email saying put yourself forward. So I put myself forward, did the application. One thing that I think was really beneficial for me was I had mentors. So I knew of Sancha, who was the mayor in Barking Dagenham. So I spoke to her before I put my application through and kind of got some tips, etc. Because she actually in the second round does interviews in other areas. So she kind of like could guide me in what people would be looking for. So I definitely say having a mentor helped. So I didn't rely on my own strength at that point in time. And you need that in politics. You need your ally, you need your network, definitely. So put my application through. The only issue was I hadn't been a member of the Labour Party for a certain period. So that was already looming in my mind, but I just said, I'm just going to close my eyes, put the application through, we'll deal with that when it happens. So got selected to come to the interview now. So once you put your application through, you go for an interview. It's like a panel, you have someone from the region, you have someone who's part of your CLP, which is your constituency Labour Party, usually the chair, and then you have someone who comes from another area who supports. So 3 people on my panel came for the interview. Interview is like, why do you want to do this? What are key policies in your area? What would you do? Why do you think your qualities, characteristics, make you a good counsellor? And then various other questions they ask you. So I passed that around. I was like, yes, but then came the issue of she's not been a member for that long. I know. Prayed and prayed and prayed. Then the party regional had to decide whether I could go through to the next round, and they agreed for me to go to the next round. So I was very, very thankful. But I had support from my CLP, who basically advocated on my behalf. And then I came in, and it's time for now members to vote for me. So how did I rally members? I think if you're coming into politics, you definitely know you have to build the relationships. So when I joined my local party, which is Hornchurch Minister, shout out to them, CLP, I took on the role of youth officer. I was working in PR at the time, so I basically said, I can help with your leaflets. So we have no resources, especially you're not a safety. So I was helping with leaflets. So people started to know me in my local party, and then I said, okay, as I'm like kind of getting involved with them and I'm working a little bit more, I can actually, build these relationships so people will definitely know me when I come out as a potential candidate. So it was a selection meeting, and I already had people saying, well, we're so happy you're going for it, etc. So read out my speech, and then they selected me to be their prospective candidate. I thought that was hard, but no, it is the long campaign. That's the icing on the cake. It is the long campaign, the short campaign. And the long campaign that usually starts like a year before the actual election day. So the long campaign, we were going out in snow, rain. I was doing our leaflets, so it was like doing leaflets, the campaign materials, the Facebook groups, every single thing. I think ours was called Harold Hill Action, group. I was going out, and it was being this new girl who hadn't been involved. A lot of the members were a lot older than me. The average age for councillors is usually over 50. So having a 21-year-old bright-eyed girl with no experience, real life experience, just coming in saying she wants to be a representative of over 100,000 residents in a ward, it's pretty it's a big one. And the person who was in that seat, so who I was hoping to get, the seat for in the 2018 election, had been a UKIP. He was UKIP, former UKIP, now Residents Association, and he had been in that seat for 10 years. So 2 Labour and him. So I was planning to come in and take that seat. It was like, wow, a lot of work. And I would knock on doors, and obviously some of the reaction would be positive, others would be, I'm not interested in politics, others, really, you're the candidate. You, seriously, how old are you?
How did you navigate through that as well? Because that could even be a dampener of the spirit in what you're doing.
It can, but I grew up in Essex, and you can imagine the demographics in Essex, right? So I've always kind of been the odd one out, the minority, whatever you want to call it. I've been that person, and I felt like that. So it's built this resilience in me. It's built this resilience in the sense of words don't impact me. If I've got something I'm going for, then my spirit's going to help me, and I'm going to get through it. And I just block out everything else, and I just have faith. And even if I don't win, that's what I was thinking, I've learned something, right? And it's not the end. So that's just the approach I take. I would just kind of like, oh, thank you so much.
Wow.
Close the door and be like, wow, God, okay. But what they were saying was true. I am young, I am young. But I wanted to do it, and I wanted to do it because I wanted to help my community. I felt called to do it, so I wanted to do it. So that Everything else is just noise. So I would get that for about a year. Then you have the short campaign, which is usually about 8 weeks before the election, and that's when you really go hard. So that's targeting the Labour supporters, leafleting leafleting all of the estates at like 7 a.m. before.
And how did you get into the flats?
You buzz the postman. You buzz the postman's buzzer to open the
trade.
The trade. So doing all of that while working, so I was still working 9 to 5. It was a lot, but I just had faith and hope. And then the election happened.
Well done.
And then I was elected, first black female to be elected and the youngest at the time. So I was age 22, and it was a great journey. I learned so much about life, about politics, policies, community, mobilising. It's a great experience. It was a very beautiful time in my life.
So what would you say were your favourite parts of being a counsellor? So now you're in office, what was the top 3 favourite parts that you enjoyed? And I'll go to the other parts.
Top 3, I would say, was being appointed the member for diversity and inclusion. So I did that for a year, and I drafted this report, but I got to work with so many community partners, our D&I lead in Haven Council, and it was an amazing role. And I was so happy to be appointed straight in to lead that. So it helped with a lot of the things that we changed over the 4 years. So that was probably one of my best moments. Other best moment was the casework. So every Sunday we have a counsellor surgery. So Saturday and Sundays we alternate. We'd have it in the local church, and I get to meet residents and speak about their issues, and then go away and speak to council officers and solve those issues. For example, helping people get housing. That was
big one.
Those are big things. And then I'd say my third was going out and being in the town hall. So having our full council meetings and just getting up and speaking on behalf of people. And it just I love the town hall meetings, committee meetings. I was on crime and disorder committee, so I really care about policing and community safety. So speaking to our police partners, just being involved in various meetings.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh God.
I'm just curious. You go
I had an honest conversation with myself recently. I thought it was another position. It was, achieving KP or, going up the corporate ladder. But I started to realise a lot of those things just weren't that important to me anymore. So I think in the next 5 years it's about family. And being aligned to my purpose. And that purpose can change. But I think it's always kind of it's a leader role, kind of like building others up. So I know it's always aligned to that. But I think family is now the next stage for me. You need to actually actively say, I'm going to take 2 years out, 3 years out. This is my focus.
And then how do you navigate your well-being? Because people don't talk about that, your mental health and balance. What would you advise another person through that as well?
I've in different ways. I've done therapy. I have gone to the church. Been baptised again. Gone through the healing journey. I got baptised again. And my mum was like, "You're getting baptised again?" And I said, "Yeah, I am. I'm getting baptised again. I feel like I'm being called to do it." But there was a whole healing, there was classes, there were so many things that I just had not really understood about a relationship with God. So I would definitely say if you're religious, turning to the church and God and just exploring that a little bit more as you enter your next chapter. Therapy is a great one, and if you can, I went through she was a Christian therapist, so it helped to talk about God. It was through work. It was through work. It was through AXA, the insurer, the doctor at hand. So you can actually request specific, you can request, So, and I was speaking to her about my faith, so it was good to have that element of it as well, and certain things that she would recommend too, like books. But I did therapy through NHS, so you can do therapy through NHS, and that helped, just talking through various things. And I'm a very controlling person. Control. And learning that you can let go of control.
I'm joking. From your work breakdown structure system,
I'm very. So I'd say those things helped. No matter who you are, your mental health is important. And I think there's always a taboo about talking about mental health. I don't know why there's still a taboo. I'm very thankful for Gen Zs and Alphas because they're really bringing it to the forefront.
They're breaking that stigma.
They're breaking stigma. But I think it's the same as your physical health. We take our physical health so seriously. So also taking a break and just saying, do you know what, I want to spend that time with myself, to like read more, to understand my feelings, and how do I speak about it, how do I, you know, relate to people. And you can do that, like I said, through therapy, or you can do it through, you know, religious aspects, like going to church, going through healing, or just taking a break. So now, like I said, I'm in that season where I'm enjoying myself more with friends and family, to actually have a good, like,
and obviously
balance.
the partner's there too.
And my partner's
100%.
there. Yeah, my he's new. We thank God.
How long? I just got to ask that. How long?
We've been together 5 months.
Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe in next episode we real talk, so dating advice. Coming pending. But thank you so much. It's been amazing getting to know you. Thank you for also being so transparent and real, and sharing your journey. And I know this would inspire so many other people to believe or dream or go out there and actually make their dreams a reality. And if you can leave us on your most favourite quote or something for another young person.
Yes.
Please share.
For we live by faith and not by sight.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's not really yours though.
No, it's not.
That's the Bible.
It is the Bible.
I love that.
But that is, I live by faith and I don't look at anything. I just keep on moving with that. And I think if you just, at the core of it, you feel it, just go for it. Don't worry about anything else. Just keep on.